Let's get this show on the road when I'm still.
Okay.
All right. I don't have music, so
No music.
we're gonna pretend like the music is.
All right, we'll pretend like.
All right. Well, I'm gonna add it in later. You don't
Gonna
have
bring it in
to.
later. You don't have to do
All
it
right,
yourself.
ready? 3,
Please don't
2, 1.
So,
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Grappling with the Gilmans. I'm Josh.
I'm Josh.
I'm not doing too great.
Well, you just smashed a soda can against your head, so it's only uphill. It's only uphill from here for you.
Oh, again.
And we are back in the undisclosed location.
SVW's basement.
And we have got a lot of different topics for this week.
No kidding.
I'm going to get right into it
Ooh, yeah.
My.
Noise.
because we heard from a reliable source, at least I think we would all agree it's a reliable source,
What?
that
What's
there
going
are some people in the wrestling business
What's going on?
based in Orlando who listen or watch our
Jesus.
show. Please stop that. So,
Let me go
if
to that.
that's true,
Give us free
and
tickets.
if you hear this,
No.
I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
And I believe one of you, you know who you are, already heard from Sam. So let's make it happen. Any of you down there in Orlando, come on the show with us.
You know who we
It's
are.
a good time.
It'll be a hoot.
Yeah, Roman knows.
yes.
So we're talking.
You've seen it. You know where we like to have fun here. And we would be very happy to have any of you on as our guests,
Yes.
especially that one person who's already heard from Sam. So, any other introductory remarks? I wanted to get that out right away
No, I'm good.
before we get into it. Okay,
I'm all
next.
good.
Oh, I got a lot this week, everybody.
Jesus.
What are we talking about this? What is it?
On Sunday afternoon,
Ooh, yay. This is my favorite.
where were we, guys?
Cherry Hill.
Right, but more specifically,
Costco.
we were in Costco.
Not for the right reasons, though.
So
No.
we're going to do a non-wrestling segment, sort of,
Wait, can I explain what I'm here?
Because-
We went to Costco after getting in a
because
car crash.
I'm
It was
going to
great.
have Sam and Max
It was fun.
sort of take off their wrestling critic hat and put on their food critic hat.
Ooh,
Because
yay.
while at the Costco, they got to sample the now famous double chunk chocolate cookie and chicken bake.
Jesus Christ.
So, world-renowned gourmands, Sam and Max Gilman,
Thank you.
take over with your thoughts. Go.
You want to go first?
I'll go first. I'm already on the boom meter, though. Okay?
Of course. I mean,
Sure.
how else would you do it?
So,
Would you
so
rank the?
five-
Move over, Craig Laban.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Who?
So the chicken bake was kind of bad. It was like horrible. It was. It was like
I don't know.
I had maybe 2 bites and I decided
This is
It
the
was
taste of a
so-
child from Boca Raton, so we gotta take this.
it was
Yeah.
so
Coming
big.
to you each day from
It
Boca
was
Raton.
Yeah.
so big.
Yeah, like you could feed a family on that thing.
Oh yeah.
Take this out of pocket.
So it was
Don't call 'em big
chicken,
biscuits for-
warm
Jesus
Caesar
Christ.
dressing, and
You're an
bacon,
adult. He's
And
like
cheese.
11.
and cheese. It was horrible. I give it 2 big booms.
Okay.
You have to do them.
Boom! Boom! And then the little chunk chocolate cookie, it was raw in the center. So but it was very good though. I did like the cross section thing. It was good. So that gets 4 big booms because it was raw in the middle. Boom! Boom! How many? Two,
That's 2.
boom!
One more.
You need to count.
Okay, there you go.
I'm not done.
Oh, you're.
And the
sorry.
free samples.
I had microwave chicken.
The free samples were good, but the microwave chicken was horrible.
Yeah, that can't be good.
The free samples gets 3 big booms. Boom, boom, boom. And
Okay.
now the water was delicious. That gets 5 big booms.
Yes.
The water from the soda machine,
The
that
water
gets
from
5 big booms. Boom, boom,
Well, you were.
boom.
You were-
Boom.
Well, you were really thirsty from-
What was it?
One more.
Boom.
You were really thirsty, probably from the chicken bake and the double chunk.
I
chocolate
tried the
cookie.
Yeah.
double
Sam?
chocolate cookie. It was good. Like it's really good. But it's not like the greatest cookie I've ever had. I'll give it like 4 big booms. Let me this. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, you didn't try the chicken bake?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
Why? In God's green earth
Yeah.
would you create something like that?
I learned my lesson the next because
Big Justice, is this a cry for help? Are you
Yeah.
okay? Jesus Christ. No person
Yeah,
should eat that. It is.
It's disgusting.
It's wet on the
It was
inside.
so wet.
I squeezed it and juice came
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I did.
I basically agree.
Oh.
It
I'm
was
not
bad.
Do you think you guys just got a bad batch?
No.
Oh no!
No, I
no.
think it's just Big Justice
The,
and his
I'm
boat
not-
and he's from Florida, so
Well,
I
him
can
and the
guess.
Boca Beach
I'm
Boys.
not gonna hate on
the
the
Boca
cookie.
Beach Boys.
I'm not gonna hate. The cookie was actually, I thought, quite good. They serve it warm.
Yeah.
It's
Why do you moan when you
Very
say that?
good.
Said,
I don't even understand conceptually how
like a-
somebody came up with that chicken bake and thought this combination of ingredients
No,
would work.
No.
Stoner's fever dream.
No.
What'd you say?
No.
Stoner's fever
Yeah, I
dream.
knew he was gonna.
Yeah,
I looked
Hey.
at
I-
people's
I
cards.
knew.
There was like 4 main things, the 5 main things in people's cards: the chicken bake, the double chocolate cookie, toilet paper, a rotisserie chicken, and eggs.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
Costco.
the eggs are probably a good price.
That's Costco.
No, next
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Also, that place
Thumbs
was
up to the
no, that
double-
place was hell. It was
No.
like you could barely move around by how many people were in that
No.
Costco on a Sunday.
Well, on a
I
Sunday
used to
afternoon,
watch
it's
things
gonna be
at
busy.
Costco. So one thing is I found these mint things, like they were like mint
Oh, yeah.
cookie candies, and I have like 10 of them before bed, and they start bouncing off the walls. They're
I'm glad-
amazing.
I'm glad you're so self-aware.
Yeah, they're good though.
They're amazing.
It was like
They're like
it was like
Girl
if I-
Scout cookies.
Yeah, it was like the Girl Scout Thin Mint cookie,
Okay.
sort of in like small candy form.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna hate on that either.
They're amazing.
But I will
Yeah.
absolutely. I agree with.
no,
I agree with
no,
Big
no.
AJ about the cookie. That other thing,
Jesus
like,
Christ.
just no.
Oh, and I have a few more
Like
things
I
to
don't
say.
even know conceptually how someone conceive that combination of
like,
ingredients
well,
would be good.
Well, chicken, bread, and cheese. I mean,
Right,
you know,
but-
it sounds good, but
And
why is
bacon.
it just a
Look,
log?
Right. If it was just some sort of thing with chicken, cheese, and bacon, okay, fine.
No.
Where did they come up with the Caesar dressing?
No, they were like,
Wait, there's Caesar dressing in it?
Yes.
Inside?
And it's served
Yes.
hot.
Wait, it was like
Roman's making a face of disgust.
That also,
They
why
were
is it like a log?
it's
I
like
don't know
it's sort of in the shape of like a thin
the
straw.
people were deciding this were like,
It's
yo, I
not
got an
good.
idea.
Okay, stop.
Hey,
Stop.
I want to say about
You
my
can't
pillows.
help yourself.
I
I
can
got
always
these
help myself.
self-cooling pillows, and they're like the
Oh
size
my
like.
God. I did.
That's not.
Okay, well,
I
it's the
did
Costco
not
guys.
I did not intend for this to
Next-
be a
No,
full
I got
Review of
Could be
Costco.
done.
I got like
report
two
on our shopping trip. I
two
just wanted to talk
self-cooling
about the
pillows.
chocolate
Yeah.
cookie
And
and the
like-
chicken bake.
Now, here's a question for you.
Yes.
I'm not
How do you guys feel about the controversy that's actually not called the double chunk chocolate
Oh, I
cookie?
know.
It's called the double chocolate chunk cookie.
Oh, I don't even notice.
And the guy
Oh,
on
I
TikTok said that they should be in prison because they called it that.
Yeah, you showed lies.
hey, whatever they call it, it was good. I don't care what they call it. I will call it good.
My pillows, so they're like the size of this.
All right.
table.
All right.
All right.
And next time I go to Costco, I'm getting the pizza, the hot dog, and the cookie next
All right.
time.
Next topic.
Everything else is horrible.
Thank you for that food
Oh,
review.
and the water.
that was great.
That water was good.
Now let's
Vita
getting into more of a wrestling related
Oh,
topic.
my.
Man.
Because this is something that has actually been this topic, and you're gonna have to think quickly on this. And there's been a lot posted on Suplex's social media about this, so I thought let's run it past you two.
Yeah.
This started with a clip that was posted of an interview with one Sean Waltman, better known as
X-Pac.
Oh.
and he told a story. I love this story about how back in the day,
Yeah.
when he was still on the road, he was at a bar up in Canada with his friends. I believe he mentioned Mr. Hall, Mr. Nash, and Mr. Michaels. And they, known as the Clique. So they were at this bar in
Triple
Canada,
H was part of the clique.
and the Canadians were not happy to see them.
Of course.
And
Isn't Waltman
it was
Canadian?
as if no, I think he's from Minnesota.
I thought it was
Waltman.
Canadian.
Minnesota.
I could be wrong about that.
Minnesota, eh?
But the Canadians in the bar were not happy to see them.
Too bad.
Apparently, they were attracting too much attention from the female patrons. and it appeared as though some trouble was going to ensue. So I guess the four of them left and were trying to get to their car, and the gang of Canadians left with them, and they were way outnumbered, and this looked like it was going to be bad. When up pulls a Cadillac, and out from the Cadillac steps the following people. Yokozuna, God rest his soul,
Can he fit in the car?
Rikishi, The Godfather, and The Undertaker.
Damn, that car was riding low.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that had to have been
That's a
a
bunch of
huge Cadillac.
big-
That was a low rider, but,
But
not like
those four gentlemen stepped out of the giant Cadillac, surveyed the situation, and suddenly the Canadians were not so interested
Wait.
in causing any trouble
So
anymore.
who was there in total? It was
The four. So at that point, it was Waltman, Michaels, Hall and Nash, Yokozuna, Rikishi, The Godfather, and The Undertaker.
oh yeah, I messed with that crew. Hell
So
no,
here
I'm good,
is-
bro.
I could take on the first four.
So this is
like
the
Waltman
No,
would be
no,
So
easy.
this question.
Waltman
Shawn
would be
Michaels would
easy.
just kick you in the face, Sam.
Waltman
Shawn
would-
Michaels
So
just give
this
it.
version.
No, Waltman would be easy. The only one I could take was Waltman, and that's it.
Well,
Yeah.
so a version of this question
Or
is
Yoko
now,
if I just sweep the legs.
right.
Oh, I told you about
He
this.
So
couldn't
this-
get back up.
This question has now become like a thing. So let's ask
Yeah.
you two.
Yeah.
On the shout out to O'Shea Jackson Jr.
If
That's his
you
podcast.
if you two, I'll ask you to answer individually, found yourself in that situation and you needed a four pro wrestlers to get you from that spot to your car, who are the four guys you can pick?
I
I
got
can go-
three.
I
got
got-
three right now. Let me think of a fourth.
Okay.
I got my four.
Go ahead, Sam.
Haku,
Oh yeah.
for obvious reasons,
Oh yeah.
because you've heard the stories.
Oh yeah.
Nick Gage,
Nick
was gonna say Nick Gage.
Okay.
just because
That's an
Abdul the
interesting
Butcher.
Abdullah the Butcher.
Do they now? Are they allowed to have weapons on their person?
Well, I mean, I
Yes.
feel like that's part of the deal with
Right.
Abdullah.
Abdullah.
and Nick Cage. I mean,
And
you
Nick
got that
Cage,
pizza
yeah,
cutter.
pizza cutter.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
with me.
AEW, this guy's got a beat trophy.
All right, one more.
Uh,
Talking to the microphone.
just like height.
No, any criteria you want to use.
Anyone who could get you like
You're talking
in a,
about
if
who's
you were in a
gonna get-
fight.
Who's going to get you to
I
that
got my
car?
first three.
Right, you need one more.
I gotta.
You want me to come back to you?
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Okay.
Go.
Yes. Brian Pillman Sr.
Brian Pillman Sr.
Yeah, when he pulled out strap.
Oh, you would assume he's carrying a gun.
Yeah.
That was a
All right.
work though. That was
All
a
right.
work.
It's a
All
real
right.
gun.
Right, but
He
you're in a
pulled
real
out-
life situation now.
Yeah,
But
he
okay,
pulled out a
go ahead.
gun.
No, it's your answer. Go.
All
It's your
loaded.
answer.
Brock Lesnar.
Oh,
Lesnar, yeah.
Nick Gage.
Nick Gage.
And I was gonna say Terry Funk because he could have something with barbed wire on his person, obviously.
Yeah, true.
All right, you got
Yeah.
your fourth?
That's my four.
Oh, probably like a Sandman or something like
Talking to the microphone.
Sandman or like
No,
someone.
no, no.
What do you have?
Sandman
Kane?
or Tommy Dreamer, somebody like
I
that.
switched Nick.
All
I
right.
switched Nick Gage for I need like a guy. I need a guy that can just like flip on people. So Rey Mysterio.
Oh,
Because
actually,
he can do
no. Oh.
flippy tippy
Wait,
stuff.
not the
Okay,
Sandman, Minoru Suzuki.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all right.
So my.
You want to
four-
go?
Yeah. Well, you go first.
All right. Many of mine have been said. Number one, it's the universal choice. It's Haku.
Yeah.
We've all heard the story. I mean, the stories are legendary. You know, biting off the guy's nose in Baltimore, and
Oh, God.
Jericho's told some story about how like he got in a brawl with the Federalas in the Mexico City airport, and I mean, look, everybody says it. I agree with Lesnar. I agree with Minoru Suzuki. He was the king of pancrase, and he looks like the kind of guy that in a bar fight would like also try and bite your face off.
Yeah.
And my fourth is Harley Race.
Why Harley Race?
Damn,
Ric Flair has now. We're talking about Rick. You know,
Ric
I'll believe
Flair.
him on this one. He claims that in bar fights, I got two Harley Race ones. He has seen Harley Race gouge somebody's eye out twice.
Jesus.
The other one, I actually just heard this. Marty Jannetty was telling a story. I guess they were out on the road. I guess they were traveling
Is
together.
Marty Jannetty really the best person? to
Well,
tell
he
a
told this
here?
story.
I bet he's still
He
pretty
said
bitter.
like they were after a show. They a bunch of them were at this diner, wherever they were. They just want to eat, and some of the locals were like giving him a hard time. You know, big mistake. And, the one guy just kept going, trying to get in Harley's face while he's trying to eat his late dinner. And one of the things that he said was, that's not really blood, that's ketchup. So the guy came over one too many times, and Jannetty claims that Harley took an old school glass bottle of Heinz ketchup, smashed that guy in the head, knocked him out, and said, "Okay, now you're a wrestler." So
Man.
those are my four.
Can I change my list real
you
quick?
met, you met Marty. How bitter is he?
I got new people. I'm saying still Brian Pillman because he can pull up strap with a gun.
Right.
You
That
know?
also might apply to Harley, by the way, from what I
Yeah,
understand.
that's what I've heard.
I bet Harley's a big fan of the guns.
I got Zack Sabre Jr. because he can break someone's arm.
Yeah,
He can just start breaking people's arms.
Zack Sabre?
Who else was it? Yeah, because he can just
He's
break people's
European.
arms.
I don't think he can
So,
Okay. Saber.
Gunther, because he doesn't look like he does look like a big scary man, but he doesn't look that big and scary. So I feel like they would try and jump him and they would knock his head off.
Okay.
And then I need a big scare, and then I need a violent one. So Nick Gage.
Nick Gage.
Just
Okay.
with a piece
Okay.
cut-
Hold on 1 second. I have to look something up real quick. Okay, mine would be, I'm going to steal one from you. Harley Race,
Harley. Yeah.
Superstar Billy Graham,
Okay.
The Sandman,
Okay.
and Onita.
Onita. Yeah.
That would be.
He'd probably be.
Sandman's like- Batman's
I'm surprised neither one of you said Lashley. Just he looks scary,
No,
and
because-
he's an accomplished
but his
amateur
voice
wrestler,
throws it off.
and he's
He's
done
like-
MMA.
No, 'cause
He would have been
no,
on my.
no,
He
no.
would be
Oh.
on.
Bobby would be like, I'm gonna beat you out.
He would have been on my list of honorable mentions.
Bobby,
I mean,
Bobby has a very high
Wait,
pitched voice.
I think.
I'll beat you up.
Look, I would think that if you just saw him and Lesnar coming, that might be enough for most people to
Sure.
back down.
Because like
No, Bobby-
if
Bobby
10 of
And
them-
Suzuki, who
no.
looked like he's like it's a serial killer.
if 10 of them jumped, if like
Bobby
10
don't
of them
scare
jumped
me.
on Bobby, he's cooked. Because he's cooked. If 10 of them jump on him,
Well, again, I have
Bobby-
him as an honorable mention.
Bobby would be fight one, he'd be breaking up in sweat.
yeah.
Again,
Bobby's
They would be
a sweater.
between his amateur wrestling and having had a few MMA fights, I'd like to think he would know how to handle himself.
So is CM Punk.
Wait,
Does
can
that
I
mean
Well, I didn't
Connor-
say him because he
wait,
never
wait,
won.
you
If
said
I
tough
allowed to
guy?
use was I allowed to use Conor McGregor? I don't know.
No.
Dang it.
No, Conor McGregor's
No,
like
I
a
tried
messed
to
up
stay.
into guy.
Look, I
And that's
tried.
why I chose him.
I tried to stay away from the. Look, you could go with all those MMA. Look, you have Ken Shamrock and Don Fry
I don't want
and
Ken.
Dan
Oh,
Severn.
can I pick Butterbean?
No,
Jesus
Butterbean
Christ.
never. He just boxed. I wouldn't say he was a
was on
wrestler.
WWE.
Yeah,
He
but
was-
he boxed. It's
Yeah.
you know what? He did appear in a WWF show,
True, but it was a boxing
but it was
match.
a boxing match. I was
And-
there that night.
Really?
I was.
Yeah, I
He
picked
ended-
Butterbean.
Was that
he-
in Philadelphia?
It was. It
That's
was
what
at
I
that
thought so.
WrestleMania. He ended Bart Gunn's career that night.
You surely did.
We people I was there
mean-
with, and I kind of looked at each other like, "That's it. He's finished." And he ended up going to Japan. He didn't come back.
Yeah, I
I
want to
mean,
pick Butterbean.
that's
But
what
it
happens
means
when you
Gator-
put a guy
And
who's never boxed
you could
against
see
a boxer.
you could see real early on, like,
Oh, Butter.
this guy is in trouble.
Butter's in trouble.
Wait, can
No, Bart. He
Oh,
knocked
Bart
Bart
Gunn.
Gunn unconscious.
Bart?
Yeah,
Wait,
he got
can
rocked.
I give 4 people that I don't think could? Can I give the original 4 people that would go and jumped? Can I give the original? 4
What,
people
you
that I
think the 4 that the jumping would be successful?
Yes. So, okay, Akira Tozawa, Michael Nakazawa.
Michael Nakazawa. Okay. Oh, you mean the 4 you would want the least?
Yeah, the 4 that I
Okay,
think
go
would,
for it.
Actually, the 4 that I think would lose. Shelton Benjamin.
No way. What?
He's so old.
Shelton Benjamin's an accomplished amateur wrestler.
But he's so
Oh,
old.
there's way better people
So
you could
old.
find
Okay,
than that.
fine. Hold on, let me rethink that.
There's no way you
No,
can
no,
put
no,
him on the
okay.
same list as Nakazawa and
Hold on.
Akira Tozawa.
MVP, because he's bad. Yes.
I mean,
He doesn't even wrestle
No, okay,
anymore,
fine.
really.
He
Hulk
just
Hogan. Okay, fine. Hulk Hogan.
Lex
He's so
Luger.
old.
No,
Lex
no, but the
Luger.
idea,
Lex
wait,
Luger.
wait. I think the idea is that you want these people like in their prime.
Okay, fine. In their prime.
Right, yeah.
Then.
Is this Lex Luger juiced up or Lex
No.
Luger like
Uh,
Milli Vanilli?
I'm gonna do.
The Hurricane Max?
I'm gonna do.
How about like Peter Avalon? You want him in the bar?
Nah.
I think like Pretty Peter could handle
I would
himself.
say Nicky Boy, but I think he would be okay. Yeah, Pretty Peter and
Yeah,
Gunky,
Nicky Boy's at least
Gunky.
got some size.
Gunky.
Gunky. Yeah, Gunky. There we go. That's my list.
Save himself.
Can I
Oh my
wait,
God.
Can I give 4 women? So
Oh,
that's
sure.
Ronda,
Let's keep going.
Ronda, Becky, Nia Jax, and
Not Rhea.
Well, wait, you're forgetting an
Rhea.
obvious one. What about Baszler?
Oh,
Awesome
no,
Kong.
Rhea's better. I'll take Rhea over
No,
Baszler.
you gotta have. If you're gonna do that for women,
Awesome
the first
Kong.
two have got to be Ronda and Baszler because they've
Ronda-
both been MMA
What about
fighters.
Shayna?
Okay, fine.
And I
Ronda-
probably have Marina as the third since she's also done
No.
MMA.
What about
I'll
Awesome
have
Kong?
Ronda,
Awesome Kong can.
Rhea.
Oh, Awesome Kong would be the fourth.
Yeah, Awesome Kong is awesome.
What about actually? Yeah,
That's
Awesome
amazing.
Kong, Rhea, and
That's a good
Shayna and Ronda.
Good
Ronda,
memory with
yeah.
Awesome Kong. I mean, she punched out Bubba the Love Sponge.
Or
That's enough for
Fabulous
me.
Moolah if you want to.
No,
No.
If you want
no.
them to throw
Okay,
the fire.
good. All right, next.
Get controversial.
I have
I'll get
to. I
controversial
know
with Fabulous Moolah.
it's gonna. It might seem like now I'm starting to pick on him, but I don't care.
Oh Jesus.
Oh damn.
I've got to talk some more about this man, John Cena,
Oh Jesus.
and frankly, Cody Rhodes.
Cody.
What's wrong with Cody?
You know,
What Cody?
Look,
do?
there have been bad AEW segments for sure.
Multiple.
There have been
Oh,
there have
there's
been
been-
times when
there's
there's
been plentiful.
there have been times when there's too much talking on the show, particularly with multiple segments right in a row.
Indeed.
Rick Ross.
I have a hard time thinking of any segment that they've done that was as interminable as that thing they did last night
What they
with
do?
him and Cody.
Oh, it was 22 minutes.
It went on
22
and
minutes?
on and on for including the ring introductions for both of them, 22 minutes.
God
Oh.
damn.
Oh my God!
God
It
damn.
just wouldn't end. And then the climax of this was John Cena throwing the worst looking punch attempt you ever saw, so that Cody could grab his arm and crossroads him. Like, oh my God! Like this makes me want to see this less. It was awful.
Obviously,
it was awful. And what
Does
are
it matter?
what are
Also,
they doing?
when-
Where is Dwayne? Why is
Where's
there's still no
Scott?
there's no explanation for any of this?
And why
did you-
hasn't he jumped our truth yet?
Now-
Where is Steve? Whatever his name
now
is.
Cena? A week ago
Time to
it
go to
was
work,
I
Steve.
did this because I hate the fans. Now it's because Cody's not worthy of wearing the title, so I'm going to take it and retire.
Where's Travis Scott been? Because he's hit
Yeah.
somewhere.
Although Cody did say, I will.
Where's
now-
Dwayne? Where's
now again,
Travis? Where's
this could have been look
backup for?
I didn't see it. I just read the quotes. Cody did actually talk about this, and he did at least mention the possibility that the next time he sees Travis, that he did use the word receipt. We'll see. But where is Dwayne? Like,
I'm
it's
not-
just bad.
Where's Dwayne
I
now?
have a prediction. I have a prediction.
Go ahead, book around.
So I think Cena's winning the title, and then he's just gonna bring it into vacancy. Okay?
Okay, he's just gonna go home.
No, we're not gonna have a WWE champion for a little bit.
What SummerSlam? You're gonna need.
Yeah,
to,
what
you're
happens
gonna need
at
to make.
SummerSlam?
'Cause no,
Cena
it's
retains.
2 nights now. Because you
Oh
gotta
wait,
remember.
he is gonna, but he comes
It's
back. He
those
Cena
noches.
Cena is going to leave with the title. He's retiring with the title. It's gonna go vacant, and then we can go into a Money in the Bank. What's first? Money in the Bank or Royal Rumble?
Money
in the
in the
It
Bank.
would be Money in the Bank because the Royal Rumble's not till January.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we would do a Money in the Bank for the title. I mean, that could be awesome. A Money in the Bank for the or
You wouldn't
if
do a tournament?
Or if you want to do that, what's after that? And then
Eliminate-
or
Elimination.
You could do-
Backlash.
Backlash.
And then there's
Wait.
Money in the
or
Bank.
and
No,
or you could do,
SummerSlam?
wait. When's Rumble?
January.
The Royal
Like
Rumble's not till
January.
January.
Yeah. Oh, but remember this. Now they're going to do this other pay-per-view called Ruthless Aggression. And
Oh,
that's going to be Cena's last appearance. They're doing,
That's at the end of the year,
is
I
it?
think.
no, because
I don't think so. I
think we're gonna have a Royal Rumble or a Money in the Bank for the title. Because imagine how cool that would be. Like, because the title
wait.
is vacant, they would do Money in the Bank
So
for
you're gonna
the
have-
title. They would instead of a briefcase, it would be the title hanging.
All right, so you are while Cena goes home with the belt,
He goes into vacancy.
You're gonna crown a new champion at Money in the Bank.
Yes, and because the
You could do that.
because imagine how old.
So
imagine how
but
excited the fans
but
would
at
be.
some point, doesn't Cena have to come back and we unify the titles? Or is just that's it? That's his last, or was WrestleMania? That's it. That's his last match. 'Cause
Yeah.
he has more dates.
Not because Cody would win the belt. Cody would win the Cody would obviously win Roman Reigns would obviously win said Money in the Bank and then beat John Cena to go on another 500-year long reign.
So the whole thing ends with Roman beating Cena.
No, hell no. I'm just kidding. No, it would end with Cody.
Lesnar.
No, it ends with Cody. No, it ends 100% with Cody.
Yeah, Cody's got to get his win back if
He'll
loses
get
to
his-
Cena.
It's gonna be
I think
So
that's what's
similar
gonna
to what they did when Punk beat Cena all those years ago,
happen. Yeah.
and left with the belt, and
then-
they crowned the new champion.
And then they do the UFC.
Eventually, they will crown a new champion, and eventually Cena will come back, and Cena will lose to whoever
If you're-
takes
And
the
then
belt.
eventually Roman
Okay.
Reigns wins the Royal Rumble and goes on to have another 10-year-long streak.
Here's the only problem with having a Money in the Bank match for the title is that then technically it's not a Money in the Bank.
Right, it just becomes a
And then
ladder
they would
match.
just have a pay-per-view called Money in the Bank and they wouldn't have any Money in the Bank match.
Yeah.
I guess
There
they
would
could
be
have
a
women's.
match. Okay, would you rather do it Rumble, but then you have to wait all until
Yeah,
January?
you can't go that. You have
Yeah.
It'd be a tournament.
You have 2 nights at MetLife. You're gonna have a match for your world title.
Yeah.
I would.
Also-
that to me was
Speaking of which,
if Cena wins. If that's what happens, if Cena wins and he says if he wins he's going home, then I think you got to go tournament and then somehow he comes back. And,
Nah, at a kid, I don't know what your name was, but at Suplex on, what was it, Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Saturday, you had a great prediction. It was that Cody wins the Rumble and then goes to John Cena's house and pins him while he's sleeping, like a 24/7 championship
but-
style.
No, that's
if you
I
grab
love
the-
that prediction
why.
Are we gonna go back to the net?
because it's amazing.
Oh, we're on the WWE's topic.
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna change it. Let's talk about Jey Uso.
Oh, hell.
Yeah, that segment I thought was actually good.
No, I have a different problem with this.
Go ahead.
When you have your world title, it's called the World Championship, and it's not even the main event of one of the nights,
It was the same thing last year.
and it gets duped by old Joker,
Who's Joker?
ECW, and Brock Lesnar.
Brock
What?
Lesnar.
Brock
It's a
Lesnar.
triple threat. You have
We know.
CM Punk.
We know what the match is.
CM Punk, who's brittle,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
I don't think can work.
I'm not gonna
I
argue
think
that.
Brittle
his
bones.
entire spine will shatter if he takes a spear,
Yeah.
and his head he will get 29 concussions if he takes the curb stomp.
Okay.
Okay.
Plus Roman Reigns, who's cool.
Ooh.
Oh, all right. You're all over the.
Seth Rollins, who hasn't done anything since his feud with Cody Rhodes.
What?
Feud with Cody
What,
Rhodes.
No, he hasn't done anything since that Hell in a Cell, essentially speaking.
What are you talking? What about him and CM Punk going
Yeah.
back and forth?
Right,
Or no?
you had
that
that
was
whole-
That
yeah.
wasn't a match though.
Right. You had his whole feud with Phil, which apparently is not
Oh,
over.
Pepsi.
Oh,
But then
shit.
Roman got in this.
That's going to be such a good
question.
match.
Is this fight over Paul Heyman? What's the goal
Yeah.
here?
We
Well,
all know he's going to
Do they want Paul? Do they all want? Is it
Look.
like a love triangle for Paul?
Yeah, it's a fight for Paul. The winner gets Paul Heyman.
Well,
And then Brock Lesnar joins the
Yeah,
mix.
Brock Lesnar.
Let's make
they're not.
Brock Lesnar joins
Look,
Brock Lesnar wants
I mean,
Paul back.
I'm not going to discount anything, although I would be very surprised if we
Yeah.
saw Brock Lesnar again.
Now Brock Lesnar's going to come back. No.
That's gonna be.
Brock is. Look, I don't think Brock made a ton of money.
But he's going to come back
into
for
his,
one time.
He's in
take
his,
back Paul Heyman.
he's
and
into
leave.
his 40s.
Yeah.
Do I care?
There's all he's got.
How old was Stan? He
he
wouldn't
got
retire.
different. He now has some significant baggage associated with him. He's just going to stay in the middle of nowhere in Canada.
Do anything, or did he know about it?
What?
Brock.
His name was on text messages that are part of the whole controversy with Vince, and that's all
Wait.
we need to say.
Yeah, I was
about
gonna
that.
say that's all we.
That
need
is
to
all
discuss
we are saying.
on air.
His name was mentioned in text messages that are part of the problems with Vince.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
that's all we're saying. So Brock, who notoriously wants to be as far away from people as possible, being in rural Minnesota was not good enough for him. So then he moved to Canada.
Yeah.
So I would think he is on his farm in Canada, counting his money and staying away from
Yeah.
people.
Him and Sable are hanging out.
He
counting
and
money.
Rena and his kid and their kids are on the farm, and he is done.
Wait, but who do you
that-
think is going to win Paul Heyman, though? Someone needs
But let's
to walk
get back
away.
to your original point.
Okay.
Someone needs to walk away with
That
Paul
They
segment
Heyman.
did the
on
same.
Raw.
They did the same thing last year. The one night opened, it was
Well,
it
that's
was
that's
Seth
very
and
different.
Drew. Am I
That
correct?
is very different than what
Yes.
this was.
It still was it was still not the other world title.
In fact, it was both nights because the first night was the
was the
women's.
tag right? The first night.
The
was,
first
and they-
night it opened with the women's world title.
right? And they closed the show with the tag match.
yes.
yes, but
So you had both of those matches on one show.
That's what they're gonna do now. This is their new thing. They do the big main event match at the beginning, and then you get the storytelling match at the end, even if it's not for the title.
Do you think they do the right? So do you think they do the same thing this year? That night one they open with
One night,
either the triple. Let's say they open with the triple.
no, the
threat.
triple.
no, the
threat's
triple
main
threat
event.
is confirmed for the main event.
Of night one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, wait, that can't be.
No.
Because they've said that no, strike that. So night one, the main event is Rollins,
Punk
and Roman.
yes.
Okay.
Do you think they have Rhea, Io, and Bianca in a triple threat opening that show? Because they want to put something big out as the first match. That seems
Yes,
to be the pattern.
very possibly. I think that it'll be one night will be that one, and then the other night will be
And then the other, and
Jey
then,
Uso,
and then
Gunther.
night two,
Wait,
maybe they
and
do what
then
they did last year.
what-
They open the show with Jay and Gunther,
yes.
Jay
and they
Gunther.
close the show with
That-
Cena
Oh my God.
and Rhodes.
I didn't
That-
realize how Brian here was.
They could do that.
That segment on Raw was so good,
That was good.
and like
What with Jimmy and
The one where he bloodied up Jimmy.
no,
was
but that they rarely
Yeah,
use
that-
blood. Like they only use it
it's Netflix? You know, it's a new
when
era.
it's like necessary, like
Needed.
necessary, or feels good, like feels good. You know, they take what the
Oh yeah.
gives them.
Yeah, he said, you know, Cody. He said, you know, it's
what is-
Netflix.
This never-
Right, they can do more.
Yeah, he
This
said,
was-
he said, you know,
Yeah,
he
that
said-
was a good setup.
WWE has been using blood a lot better than AEW.
No way.
Because John Moxley's a bleeder every single
Well,
match of his.
you know.
I mean, is John Moxley out there?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet there's blood in the ring.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, he's. But no, that
The
I was.
razor blade.
Look, that was. I will say that was a good segment.
How about the
No,
that
but
Torture
definitely-
match?
image of
Put some heat on that match, which it needed.
Bathing in his brother.
Oh yeah.
Gunther bathing in his brother's blood as like
Bathing, I think.
I
is
would
what
say,
it was.
it was all
He
over.
rubbed it on him. Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
He
you're
was
look,
all over.
You're right. I think that.
As like Jay was like handcuffed and was like
Yeah.
No, it was
I
a
think that they do it well because it's like more special. Maybe not special. Maybe is not the
good.
word.
No, it has more impact
No,
because you
'cause-
see it less often.
Yes.
No,
Now,
I don't disagree.
I have
with
a
that.
prediction what's going to happen now. I have two
oh
predictions.
Jesus Christ, not again.
Go ahead,
The
Booker. Ram.
first one is that Jey Uso has to win, and Jimmy's gonna interfere. He's gonna hit Gunther in the face with something, gonna make him bleed, and then he's gonna make him bleed, and then Jay's gonna pin him with something. And then my second prediction is that what's going on with the Tiffany? Well, not
a
Tiffany
question.
Strand. Not Tiffany Strand. What was it?
Trish Stratus.
No.
Charlotte Flair.
No.
Come on.
Chelsea Green
I was
and
gonna say, this
Nikki
is
Bella
great
in the
radio.
hair versus hair match. When's that happening?
Is that a thing that's gonna happen?
They saw something. I am not
That's
aware
what
of
he
this.
said.
Did you see it today?
I,
Because today is April Fool's, and there have been a lot of wrestling
think it
rumors.
was- no, I don't think it was-
That Vince McMahon is now
Yeah,
hired
I-
by AEW.
Yeah.
I saw
Right.
a thing that said Vince is going into the WWE Hall.
I saw Vince is buying TNA. So there's Vince
Lot of
pranks all over the
Sam
place.
told me like a week ago.
I saw
that
it.
this
Yeah,
was
I
Chelsea
think-
Green on an interview, so they wanted to go against Nikki Bella in a hair versus hair
Right,
match at
wherever this came
WrestleMania.
from, I think this was before today.
By the way,
Yes.
I think Piper Niven is shaving her head because Chelsea's gonna lose and make Piper Niven do it.
All right.
Here's the thing. I don't think that if they were gonna have a match at Mania with Nikki Bella, they would have started to
Yeah,
develop
one would think they
something
would have
at
started
this
to
point.
work towards that.
Because
Yeah.
we are
Because Chelsea needs an opponent.
we're only about, what,
2
3
weeks,
3
3
weeks
weeks
away?
away. So
Oh,
right.
really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Okay.
Chelsea
Let's-
does need an opponent.
Let's talk about Dynamite. We're
I was
close
gonna
the show with
say,
Dynamite.
yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Yeah, we
we're
Very
almost at
Now,
40
for-
minutes. already.
right. So, because fortunately,
It was
this was
fun.
not a terribly eventful episode of Dynamite.
Is it
So,
ever?
yeah, sure. Last week, you saw a man get up with a board of nails stuck in his back.
Oh yeah, that was fun. I like that.
So, Fun for who? Us watching?
No.
Or for him?
me.
Oh, for yeah, no, I
It was
get
like
it.
funfetti birthday cake. So much fun.
They did something kind of unusual this week
What?
that they don't normally do, which is that they just had like a few sort of competitive, just random matches. Like they had Takeshita against Mark Briscoe. The one I will say this: the Brody King and Kyle Fletcher, I thought was actually really good.
I thought that was really good. Yeah.
That was excellent. Other than that, you had they're continuing to build the dynasty. You had they had a sort of a match to show with Kenny against Blake Christian, which was just sort of a chance for Kenny to look really good. And then
who's Blake Christian? Because I saw his entrance something about ice cream, and I was like,
What?
what?
yeah, it was
What?
something about ice cream. I guess he's been something. It's and who's he teamed up with? Shorty Lee Johnson.
Shorty Lee.
Shorty
Johnson.
Lee?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
His
Shorty
team was
Lee.
Shorty Lee?
Yeah, I guess it's
Shorty
in the Ring of
Lee.
Honor.
Shorty? Okay.
But and then Speedball comes out and they cut the promos, and then interestingly
I
enough,
saw this.
Ricochet managed to find time on his wedding day
Surely did.
to cut a promo to promote the triple threat match at Dynasty.
But it was in
That's a
suits.
professional, that Ricochet.
I thought it was funny because Kenny Omega was like, and that. Oh, he's gone.
Right.
That's
Then you had
Tony.
Sam's. We'll get that at the end. That was the main event. Sam's Orange Hero.
He's not orange. He's just very.
He's
very,
so tan.
He's
very
orange.
tan.
What
What
had
would you like?
his-
No. What would you like? What would you like better? Him being extremely tan or him being extremely dark? Because you can pick which one or the other. You can pick
Neither.
6 and 1/2 dozen the other.
You can
Oh
make-
well,
you can
if you're implying what I think you are, they're not going to do that. So it's not even
They
worth
already
discussing.
did it before.
Oh.
No, they have not.
You're thinking of the WWE.
That
and
not,
that's
AEW has
No.
not
You think
done
they're
that,
gonna pull a
nor
DX?
will they.
You think they about to pull a DX?
They're
No.
Okay.
let me
His
let me
comeback.
be clear about this.
He had a very, very dark tan
Let
on.
me be clear about this. That thing that you're implying, that will never happen.
It did happen.
Let's be for real. 'Cause
Wait,
it's real.
I
The
still,
existence of that company is right now dependent on the deal that they signed with Warner Brothers for the TV rights. That would get them kicked off the air.
But
So
they already
let-
did do that.
no,
When
they
he came
didn't.
back, he had a very, 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 very dark spray tan on.
Right. But not
That's
that
what I'm
other
saying.
thing.
Would
Oh.
you rather have him having that or him being extremely orange?
Extremely orange.
Okay,
At
we're
least
moving
really
on.
digging
He
to
had
it,
his
you know?
meeting with MJF. I mean, with MVP. It appeared as though they were going to make a deal where MJF joined the Hurt Syndicate until out came Bob and Shelton Benjamin. They had not agreed to this because Bob gets in Friedman's face and tears up the business card. So
Good job, Bob.
We'll see where that goes.
Good job, Bobby.
You
Keep him
had
away.
Shivani
Keep him away.
do a sit down with Copeland and FTR. There's clearly some problems here
Oh, 100%.
because Dax, who kept saying that he apologized,
No.
also was saying that they put their pursuit of the tag titles on hold to help Copeland try to beat Moxley for the world title. At which point Copeland had to remind them that they had essentially been abducted by the Death Riders. At the end, Wheeler's like, I think there's still life left in us. Challenged the Death Riders for a match for the Trios titles at Dynasty.
Announce.
They later accepted. So that match is confirmed for Dynasty.
Also, we need this. We need this so bad.
What?
Big Boom AJ.
Nothing
For
about
Dynasty.
Big Boom AJ.
No, but they don't really announce
Um,
the pre-show matches. That
If I don't
no,
hear
'cause
we bring the
I'm
boom.
guessing what day is it today?
Tuesday.
I'm guessing tomorrow they're gonna announce if I mean like
No, they
either
announced it last
today.
Collision.
Wait, when? Or either today or Collision, they're announcing something. They're gonna
They
need
would
to
Well,
announce
they
announce.
better
If-
hurry up because the show is on Sunday.
I know either today, either tomorrow or Saturday. If he's gonna be there, they're gonna need to announce something.
Speaking of Dynasty, you had a verbal confrontation between Moxley and Swerve, which ended up in a physical confrontation between Willow and Marina. No match announced yet for them anywhere.
Oh,
Also at the end of the segment with Friedman and the Hurt Syndicate, Big Bill and Brian Keith came out, challenged them to a title match. MVP said maybe they should
Hell
win
no.
a match first,
Hell.
which they did on Collision. They
Okay.
beat Top Flight.
Wait.
Now, apparently, a match was planned for Dynasty where the Hurt Syndicate was going to defend the titles against Archer and Brian Cage, but that's not happening. Cage hurt his knee. They have not announced a title match to replace
The
it.
Outrunners.
I don't. Well, that just happened at Revolution.
Give them the title. Make them win the title.
I
this
don't
time.
really see the need to put Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley against Big Bill and Brian Keith on a pay-per-view.
Oh, hell.
So maybe that's something they can put on Dynamite, but they have not announced that for
I have
Dynamite.
an
No,
idea.
give the Outrunners the title shot. Let them win.
Right, but they just got a title shot and they lost.
No,
Do
'cause
they-
listen, Tony Khan. I love
Tony Khan's
Tony
stupid,
is
man. I could
not
do better.
good at knowing when somebody's hot. Because the Outrunners, they were on fire.
No, we talked about this before.
Harley
did-
Cameron, they screwed up
No,
with that,
they
too.
have not. They have not. Harley Cameron's on every week and has not lost since she lost to Mercedes.
Well, no, but she wrestle?
Yeah,
She
she's
wrestle?
she's been on Collision. We haven't.
Yeah, the Collision Cow.
Right.
Yeah, Collision Cowboy.
Hey, look, she's not going to get her rematch right away. I mean, she's a
Athena's
player
going
now.
against Mercedes now. If her
Last-
against Tony would be
the main
interesting.
event was Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa. I'm not going to say what Tony named their tag team because this is still a family show.
Oh wait, Thunder.
Against
Bleep it
Megan
out.
Bayne and Penelope Ford. I will say this. They have done, I think, a good job building Megan Bayne up as a challenger. She beat Tony clean in the middle. And then again on Collision, she and Penelope laid her out. So they have really done a good job trying to. I mean, that's not something that they normally do. Their champions don't lose in non-title situations, but she pinned Tony clean in the middle with her move.
What's
So
the
they've
move
done
called?
what they
Like,
can.
that's a
So
lot of
here's
time?
so as we've said.
Wait, I got something to say before we end the show.
Oh, go ahead. Well, I'm going to talk about Dynasty.
Oh,
So again, we will be
this
there.
has something to do with Dynasty.
Will be the biggest stars there.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna bring a sign. It's gonna
Not
be
a
real
big
good.
boom ages.
Okay.
I already know what I'm gonna. My dad's gonna get me poster board. I'm gonna make a really good sign because on an episode of Dynamite, when it was a tag, I think it was something involving Kenny and Takeshita or something. It was something involving Takeshita and Don Callis with a commentary, and he said he's Takeshita's doctor, like chiropractor. You know, do you remember that?
Nutritionist.
Yeah, and I'm gonna bring a sign that says Don Callis, will you be my nutritionist?
That's a
Pretty good.
one.
I've been thinking about that a lot.
So as of now, well, I mean, for Dynasty, it should be called Clash of the Champions because they have announced a ton of title matches.
That's the WWE thing.
We've got Swerve
Clash of the
against
Castle
Moxley.
champion.
Oh, see?
We have
It's
Storm
called
against
Night of
Bane.
Champions.
We've
Ooh.
got now Death Riders versus Rated FTR for the
Paris.
trios titles. On Collision, they announced Garcia against Adam Cole, no time limit, and no outside interference for the
I will
TBS
boo
title.
So much for Adam Cole.
Um,
No MJF, which is a
and
Bummer to
they
me.
have not. Jericho also on Dynamite challenged Bandito title
Excited for that.
versus Mask
I'm
for
excited
the
to
Ring
see
of
that.
Honor title. I assume we're going to get that as well. So they've got a couple more matches to announce, but we have most of a card sort of built out. It's a solid show. I mean, they set the bar so high with Revolution. But we
We're not gonna
oh
do
and of course the
5-star
triple and what should be the match of the night was the triple threat with Kenny, Ricochet, and Speedball. That should be
I will
phenomenal.
bet you $1,000 each that there's
I
gonna
have
be
two things to say.
like a full
Go ahead.
Before we end the
match.
show. One, I'm guessing that I'm making another prediction. That's right.
Boy,
that
you've
Big
been on-
Bill is gonna have to shave his head to prove himself to Jericho's gonna lose and Big Bill's gonna shave his head to prove himself
This
to.
is the second time you've predicted that someone's
Yeah,
gonna
this is
shave
a
their
double
head
head
and
shaving
win
I
the
don't
show.
care. It's two
Okay.
versus hair versus head.
Okay, what else?
Where's
It's
Wardlow?
like Vince.
We have no
He
idea.
loves his mask.
We have no idea where Wardlow is.
Well, I like people shaving their heads
And what does
getting
that have
set
to-
on fire.
And what does that have to do with Dynasty?
That's
I never
Okay.
said it did.
So,
but I said, where's
we will-
Wardlow?
So we will be there on Sunday night. If you see us, please say hello. And next week, full in-person account of the pay-per-view. We are very excited. It's our first pay-per-view. It should be a really good time. Anything else before we wrap? Oh, and I should have said it at the time. The geek of the week is John Cena and Cody Rhodes because they just wouldn't. They just
I
wouldn't
thought it
end
was
that
Jimmy
segment.
No.
Uso.
Anything else before we wrap it up?
No.
No.
Thank you, Producer Roman. Thank you all for joining us. We will see you next week with our Dynasty Report on the next episode of Grappling with the Gilmans.
Peace.
That's a wrap.
Peace.